What's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. We just wrapped up the workout, and I'm going to go ahead and cover question number 28 in the 31 days of Q&A here at the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to give it one of these and take part in the conversation in the comments section below. Go ahead and throw questions my way if you'd like me to answer them. If I don't get to them in the 31 days of Q&A and they're good questions, I might just hold on to them and do them later on and make this a somewhat regular feature, maybe on the weekends or something like that. Today, There To Do left this comment, and it's actually 5 questions for me to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Wants to know, do you play an instrument? If not, what would you want to play? So, no, I don't play an instrument. Never played in high school. And then I got an interest in the harmonica when either my senior year in high school or college, freshman year, I can't remember. Definitely it was at college, but I can't remember when I got the harmonica. But I taught myself how to play Piano Man on the harmonica, at least the opening section. It's actually really simple. It's like a out, in, and then you move, and then out, in, and then you go back. It's actually kind of simple. I'm sure if I still had my harmonica, I think I have it somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I bet I could probably figure out how to play it if I still had it. Number 2, in grip sport, would it be more fair to compare athletes pound for pound, by body weight, or inch for inch by hand size? Inch for inch just sounds wrong already. So I got into grip in 03. By 05, we instituted hand size classes. I thought that was the way to go. Other people didn't see it my way. I got overvoted or outvoted, and we went to weight classes, and that's how it's been ever since like 2010, 2011. No matter what you do, you're going to get screwed by the outlier. So if you go by weight classes, there's a good chance that people with bigger hand sizes are going to win. If you go by hand sizes, the people with those hand sizes that are heavier are going to end up winning. In like 2016, 2017, this guy, Gil Goodman, introduced everybody to allometric scoring. It was used at Nationals in 2017, and it was used at other contests, and it seemed like no matter what the events were, if you were in the 205 class and had had large hands, you were going to win. So in I hope I'm quoting the right contest, but in this one certain contest, I think I came in second. So I competed, I think I was in the 120 kilo class. I probably weighed about 250. I did the math, and with my numbers, if I would have competed at the lightest I had ever competed, so it would have been like probably a 230 or something like that, I could not have made up the grounds due to the formulaic scoring that was being used in order to beat the formulaic performance of the people in the 93 kilo class. So no matter how you do this, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and someone's going to get screwed. So right now, I think it's pretty fair to go with the hand size stuff. I'm sorry. Right now, I think it's pretty fair to go with the body weight classes. And we have, for the men, 59, 66, 74, 83, 93, 105, 120, and 120 plus. Those are all kilos. I think that's pretty fair. But still, if you have 2 people that are close in skill level, in the same weight class, it's going to most likely be the guy with bigger hands that wins, especially if the events that are in the contest include something like a 2 3/8 or a 2.5 inch handle, rolling handle, or any kind of pinch block that's bigger than 2.5 inches. It's automatically going to go to that larger handed individual, especially if they know how to do the technique properly. So which one's fairer? It's hard to say. I think I don't know if we need all those classes. If you broke everybody up by hand size and then had like an above this weight and below that weight cutoff for the hand sizes, it would be interesting. Let's just say that. I think it would be interesting. And speaking along the lines of fairness. What's my favorite color? If you look around my gym, everything is trimmed in red. And that's because that's my favorite color. If there were only 3 lifts or feats to test someone's overall grip strength, what would they be? Or what would I choose them to be? Like in a contest? Probably, if you didn't have to judge lockout, then probably the best 3 would be the ones that we use for the elite category. Grippers, 20 millimeter block set grippers, adjustable 2-hand pinch, and then 2-inch axle. However, the problem with 2-inch axle is that you have to pull the lockout. You're always going to have problems with lockout calls, and I get sick of that shit, so I don't contest axle in my contests anymore. Plus, that becomes a body strength movement when you're going to lockout, and it always hurts the people that are not strong in their body. And a lot of people in grip do not take strength training for their full body as seriously as they should. So if you look at the people that do really well in grip contests, and I'm talking about over the long haul, so if you look at the last 3 years and look at the people who are doing really well in grip contests, pulling amazing feats in training and stuff like that, they also do lifts such as deadlifts, squats, bench press, overhead press. And if they don't do those exact movements, then they're doing similar movements that train the body for strength. You look at Jason Dingy, look at me, look at Eric Hussein, look at Zach Mullins, Tim Butler, Tanner Merkel, Adam Glass. All these guys are well-rounded people. They do well in every contest they go to. They do well on every event. And all of those names train not only for grip strength, but for full body strength. I'm getting off on a tangent, but I guess the point is no 3 events are going to be perfect. You're never going to satisfy everyone, and not everybody is willing to put in the work to train all the events or to also strengthen up their body. So there's no perfect way to do it. That's why I don't like putting limits on the events that people run in contests, because I say run whatever the hell you want to. Just the considerations being, think about who's putting this equipment out and do they actually support grip. Is the handle a good handle? And it's the stuff that I covered earlier on in the 31 days of Q&A. Enough there. Number 5 was mayonnaise or Miracle Whip. Well, I'll tell you, I actually use both. If it's something like a burger or a cheesesteak, then I'm going to use mayonnaise. If it's a sandwich, then I'm going to go with Miracle Whip. And why? I was brought up on Miracle Whip, and then you go to a restaurant and you order those things and they ask if you want mayo, and I'm like, sure, I'll take mayo. But like, honestly, if someone made me a sandwich and they made it to the specs that I like a sandwich with deli cuts, so like every year for my birthday, I celebrate my birthday with at least 1, maybe 2 pickle loaf and cheese sandwich, and I use Miracle Whip. But if I had someone else make that sandwich for me and they put mayonnaise on there, I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference, to be honest with you. I have no idea, because I don't know. Maybe it's been so long since I had. I mean, I'll help out in an event, right? So there's an event, there's a triathlon in town, and I always volunteer and help out with that. And at the end of it, there's always a bunch of subs, and you can go make a sub. They never have Miracle Whip; it's always mayonnaise. So that's a sandwich. I always put mayonnaise on a sub at those things. If I go to Subway and get one, I put mayonnaise on it. I don't even think they offer Miracle Whip. So like, I don't care. I guess the point is I have my preference, but if they don't have what I want around, then I'll just use the other thing. It's no big deal. And that's it for there to do. Those are, what are you doing, Axe? So those are my responses. I hope they were interesting. And need more questions, guys? Leave them in the comments section below. Give the video one of these. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends. Maybe you want to get in on the great debate about mayonnaise and Miracle Whip. Maybe you want to get in on the body weight classes or hand size class debate. Let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments section below. All the best in your training. Take care.